Hi everybody, this is Alchemist 2 and I'm back again with another book review. On Monday, I started reading uh, Peter David's New Frontier series. This one's called Missing in Action, and actually takes place after the events of After the Fall, if you've been paying attention to the series. I'm just going to read the back leaflet because I don't think I would be able to describe this or bring justice to the description of it like Peter David can. It reads, following the dramatic events of After the Fall, Captain Mackenzie... Excuse me. I'm sorry. My brain always moves faster than my tongue. Following the dramatic events of After the Fall, Captain Mackenzie Calhoun and the crew of the USS Excalibur find themselves catapulted headlong into another universe, far from the New Thelonian Protectorate and Sector 221G, a place where an ancient war rages between two powerful alien races. Calhoun has no intention of staying here for very long and adopting the time-honored philosophy of the enemy of my enemy is my friend. Of course, there's a joke about that in there. It takes it upon himself to somehow and by any means necessary persuade one side or the other to help him and his crew get back home. Meanwhile, the shadow of the war has fallen over the New Thelonian Protectorate, and an embattled Sequan faces growing treachery as he attempts to maintain his tenuous hold on power. With Starfleet and the Federation declaring Sector 221-G temporarily off limits, Admiral Elizabeth Shelley and Captain Kat Mueller decide to take matters into their own hands, ignoring others by trying to find some way of getting to the Excalibur, presuming there is any Excalibur to get to. But they never count on the most unexpected of allies, an old friend whose shifting loyalties are about to be put to the ultimate test, even as a growing cataclysm looms. And I have to say, this has to be one of the best New Frontier books I've read in a good long while. It's 392 pages, and I was hoping that maybe it would be longer. But it actually gives you a chronological order of New Frontier books from the very beginning, which I think is really, really useful. And I can actually read those if you haven't started reading it from the very beginning. I think it's better that you start from the beginning and go forward. House of Cards, Into the Void, The Two-Front War, Endgame, Martyr, Fire on High, Captain's Table number 5, Once Burned, Double Helix number 5, Double or Nothing, Quiet Place, Dark Alloys, Excalibur Requiem, Excalibur Renaissance, Excalibur Restorations, Gateways, Cold Wars, Being Human, Gods Above, No Limits, anthology edited by Peter David, Stone and Anvil, After the Fall, and then this is Missing in Action. And it says that this was written in 2006, so it's relatively new. I hadn't been able to really catch up on the New Frontier books recently. I don't know if the next book, I forget what it's called, but I've ordered it and I will definitely read it. And I just think that Peter David has such a panache for writing detailed scenarios of these different characters and the different places that they are, different ships that they're aboard, if it's a cargo ship or if it's one of Starfleet's ships, depending on where this ship is in the vast reaches of space. There's one part that I found extremely interesting that talks about this place that they are not really, well, I don't know if it's Calhoun. I'm trying not to give away any spoilers, but I don't think it's Mackenzie, but it's one part in the book where you have a character who is in this region of space, and it's almost like they're inside of a heart, and it's not even their universe. It's a different universe entirely. So there may be in a universe that's in another universe that's inside another universe, and possibilities are endless there. And I thought, ooh, you're playing with quantum physics here, and what's known as quantum entanglement and multiverse theory. And that can become very complicated, and I've read other books concerning the theory itself, and I have no doubt in my mind that different universes exist, but we really can't see beyond our own Milky Way galaxy from what we comprehend of it. And we're probably so far off of completely understanding it that it's just the tip of the iceberg, just like the human brain. It's the same thing. Now this book is just is tremendously written. It is just absolutely fantastic. It is a non-stop thrill ride. It is one thing right after the other, and how he divides his chapters is also very intriguing. I'm not going to say how it begins, but it gives a revelation to villainous characters that we are very familiar with if we've watched the Next Generation series. And you start with Spectre with Commander Soletta. She is half Vulcan and half Romulan, which is very fascinating, I do believe. And then he'll label that as part 1. He'll do it with a small number 1, then a small number 2. And it's a different character, and there's a different situation that's happening. And he also will label chapters, whether they take place on the Spectre or the Excalibur, Space Station Bravo, Trident, which I think is Sequans. I'm trying to remember. I used to know these characters so much better. You've got another race that is engaging them in battle. I'm not going to say who it is, but he reveals who they are. And of course, Mackenzie is missing in action, and Elizabeth Shelby has been told that they're married, that her husband is nowhere to be found. She acts with complete resolve and is very stoic about it. And you would think that she'd be more shocked by something like this. I know I would if I heard that my spouse was out in goodness knows where, and heaven knows where they would find him, or if he were alive, or it's just a Schrodinger's cat sort of thing. I think she does this to save face, and the only reason she does this is because she's an admiral. And that's just their mannerism. It's her mannerism especially. It's just her part of her character, so it's understandable why she would respond in this way. I liked all the characters that were involved, and Soletta is very fascinating, I think. She has to deal with both sides of her nature, particularly when Lucius is involved, and I'm not going to say what happens there, but it's a tiny spoiler, but I knew it was coming. I thought, Peter David, you've done it again. You just made another plot twist. But he's just a master of action, adventure, and irony, as well as a character acting non-conventional to get himself out of a jam. It's a strategic way of thinking. He doesn't really take the road that every other character might travel. This character takes an entirely different road, knowing that the stakes would be in his favor. But the way that he goes about this is just genius, I believe. And I won't say what happens, but there are some elements of the story that are just resplendent and remarkable. And as far as the New Frontier series is concerned, I think it's one of the best stories that he has written so far. And I give it 5 stars. Actually 6 stars. 2 thumbs way up. And if you're a Star Trek fan, if you have been hungering for a new series to sink your teeth into, I would definitely start with the very first New Frontier book and then work your way up to missing in action, because if you're not familiarized with the characters, you'll just kind of be muddling around in the dark, wondering what's going on here. So it's better if you start with the very beginning and then go forward. It's sort of the same way if you're watching. I'll equivocate it with Doctor Who. You have to start with the very, very beginning, so you know what's going on, because every episode, or book in this case, proliferates upon itself, and then as you go forward and get to know these different aliens, these different characters, who are the allies, who are the enemies, it begins to become more concrete. And that's what makes it all the more interesting and enjoyable, I think, as far as the series is concerned. And I'm not certain if the last book that I ordered from Amazon is the last of the New Frontier books, but I shall let you know if I hear anything or see anything. And I will definitely read it and do a review of it as soon as I do. But it's a very quick read. It's hard to put down. It'll grasp you from the very beginning and never let you go. It's that kind of a book. It is really a roller coaster ride, and it is amazing from start to finish. And Peter David always delivers. He's one of my favorite authors, and he's one of my idols, and I'm hoping that I can write just like he does. And hopefully I'll be able to be a New York best-time seller one of these days. We'll see. So, that's it.